Hey friends, so I have for you guys, I'm going to do some color combinations with the Artxx. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about the pencil. The Artxx pencil, I believe, is primarily wax based. However, this particular set of pencils comes in 126 colored, being the full set. It originally started out in a 72 set, and they later expanded to this size, which does include a couple of metallics. There are and a few fluorescents, which are nice. By the way, I filled in the colors, but the swatch sheet itself came from Stacy Bledsoe. She has a good site. She can pretty much put together any kind of swatch sheet you want. I don't have like Word or Excel, so I kind of have to do mine a little differently. You'll see in a minute. The only thing I would the only gripe I have is that she did not put enough space on the margins on the side. And when I tried to clip it to put it in my notebook, it kind of messed up, and I was like, But otherwise, yeah, if you're lacking in a particular swatch sheet, go visit her Etsy store, and I'm sure if it exists, she could probably make it up. This one was from Coloring with Faithful Girl. I know it's not the greatest swatch job ever, but it did the job. I filled in everything else, and I got to tell you, writing some of these names that small is tough. It is not easy, my friends. So there's that. And this is kind of how I do mine sometimes. If I can't find what I need on Pinterest or Etsy, which has happened, i.e. the Artxx, for example, I just kind of throw together my own. And sometimes I do it like this. Sometimes I'll put in lines. In this case, I was having so much trouble trying to find sections long enough and with enough lines to put in all the names that I had. I just kind of said, eh. And so I got out one of my circle stencils and then just wrote the names in. And it seems like for the most part it worked pretty well. So if you would like a copy of this, just give me your email address and I will email it to you. I might have to email a picture of it like I have, and I can do it blank and or filled in. I'm going to show you how I used each color combination. So, and then there's this on the other side. So, and I also left 3 blank ones for you to fill in on your own if you want to, or for me to fill in later. So yeah, just hit me up in the comments and let me know with your email address, and I'll be happy to work it out. I don't know if I have a PDF maker anymore, so I'm not sure if my editor can do PDFs. I'm not sure if it's included in my subscription, but I'll look into it. So the thing that I like having these large print coloring books and the cheaper coloring books in general is if I want to test out different color combinations in the thing that I would be likely to color them with, the subject I should say. So, and I use some little things here just to help me find them quickly. So the butterfly was pretty easy. The outer edge of the wings I did with the pastel blue, a white, and I believe I used the Artxx, and I might have used a little Prisma white too. The Artxx white is okay, but it's no Hobart or Prisma. It's if kind of, I would give it a C plus for that. So the wings themselves, the inner part, I did this part of the wings with cobalt violet, lilac, parma violet, black, white, wisteria, which is a beautiful color, by the way, imperial violet, and ultramarine violet. The green, I believe it was just like 3 colors. I'm looking on my little list here to remind me. I think it was just like chartreuse and like apple green, dark green. It was nothing complicated. Now this one, let me know what you think of that. I was thinking it was kind of like a fence color, but I don't know. I'd be interested to know what you think. This one was light umber, depending on where you're from. Iron, oxide brown, antique brass, old gold, goldenrod, burnt ochre, dark brown, and sienna brown. I was kind of using different colors to try and get a different layering and shadowing, and it kind of worked, kind of didn't, I think. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. So, this is the one I got a lot of my combos from. I just like this page. I love it. This is what I mean with these cheap coloring books. The paper's not so great, so you know, there's some things you got to take into account when coloring in these things, in regards to that. So the orange one, I believe, according to my chart, was white, cadmium, orange deep, sunburst, yellow to orange, orange, and burnt orange. I absolutely love this color. And I also did I think I did a little white Prisma in the middle, and then blended it in with the Gamsol. A lot of these, especially like this one, were blended with Gamsol or a softer white than the Artxx has. And I'm not saying the Artxx white, as I discussed earlier, it's not bad, but sometimes it's just not quite creamy enough, you know. I can't tell if the pencils I think they're primarily wax based, but they might be a little oil based because they're very much like Prismas, but just a little harder. They're almost like, the closest thing I can think of is like a Black Widow. It's a cross between a Black Widow and a Prisma. It's somewhere in the middle of those two. If that makes any sense. So I think the yellow flower, according to my list here, okay, small amount of dark brown, and it's just like at the very, very darkest areas, like your very deepest shadows. And I used the dark brown instead of the black because of the vibrant, bright nature of these yellows. A black would just kind of turn gray. It just mud. It just would not look good. I don't recommend it personally. Generally speaking, I would suggest it like a dark brown or maybe a French gray. You know, but black, I just kind of don't generally do it with this particular color. It just does not work to me. But the other colors were goldenrod, yellowed orange, canary yellow, cream, and white. And I did use the regular white, but as I said, a lot of this was blended with Gamsol, which is, to me, better when you're using cheap coloring books than trying to blend with some of these blenders, or some are kinder than others. So the vase was my gold. That's supposed to look like gold, but I think I need to make it a little brighter maybe. Let me know in the comments what you think. I think I might need to sort of brighten that up a little bit. Maybe put some more yellow into it, perhaps. But the colors that I used were white, yellow ochre, sienna brown, burnt ochre, dark umber, and black. So the key to this particular image is the yellow ochre. That's what gives it that gold color. And what I did here is I put in a little too much sienna brown. You know, I still love the blend. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. But if you're wanting gold, then I would back off of the sienna brown a little bit, pull that back a little bit, and more of the yellow ochre or cream. If you want to add, like, even make it even paler, you could add that in. So the blue flower was white, cobalt teal, Prussian blue, helio turquoise, indigo, and black. And the indigo and the black are definitely going to be for your shadow areas. I also used a little bit of, well, I think I mentioned white. Yeah, a little bit of white. This one you can use the Artxx white, but I would blend it a little bit with like some Gamsol, or you could do a Caran d'Ache blender or a white Prisma. But I would just go easy when you're using the cheap coloring books. Paper is thin and not too thick, so you want to be careful there. And always put a sheet of paper under you. So, moving on, the pink flower, the big one, has white, Tuscan red, black, rose red, pink, Baker Miller pink, which is a color I'd never heard of, and peach puff. I kind of like that. I had to do a little bit of blending with my Gamsol to get the shading just right. But the black and the Tuscan red are going to definitely be your shadow colors. So the other color, this one, is going to be seashell pink. This flower has opera pink, Baker Miller pink, mulberry, dark purple, and black. I really like how that came out. That opera pink is such a nice pop of bright, almost fluorescent pink. So the leaf up here is army green, olive green, lime peel, ginger root, and black. I really love that. That might be, next to this one, that might be one of my favorite combinations. I really like it. So, the cherries are white, Tuscan red, magenta, crimson red, crimson lake, and quinacridone violet. I know that's a mouthful, right? The green was really pretty simple. It was just chartreuse, apple green, fern, and now I think yep, this one. I absolutely love how this one came out. So it was seashell pink, magenta, crimson red, Mayan violet, Tuscan red, and 70% warm gray, which is really the Tuscan red and the warm gray are definitely going to be your deeper. For, I believe I did these ones too. Let me see. Okay. Chartreuse, spring green, asparagus, grass green, and dark teal. Now that's an odd combination, but it really works. So I believe the last one is the shovel, and that was my silver combination. That was 20% cool gray, 70% cool gray, white, black, and in this case, I would recommend a white Artxx, not Artxx, I keep saying Artxx, oh my goodness, a white Prisma or a white Holbein, but not the soft white. The black that comes with the Artxx is, as you can see, is a very warm black. So if you want a cooler black, you probably would have to look to Prisma or Artxx maybe, I think. But their black, as you can see, is very warm. And, you know, that just makes it more of like a lamp black. So if you want ivory black is more of a cooler black. I think that was all, but yeah, as you can see, as a side note, cool book, right? So there, I did a flip through this book. It's on my flip throughs and completed pages. The other thing I wanted to add to make sure that I didn't forget was the 126 set runs about $50, and the 72 set runs at $30, and I believe there's a 10% off Amazon coupon currently running for, I think it's the 50 for sure, but I'm not sure about the 72 set. But it might be both. I know it's for sure the larger set though. And they're, according to the description, the wood is basswood. The core is about 3.8 centimeters, which is pretty decent. I don't know for 100% certain if they're all, wax, or if they're kind of just oil based but lean more toward the wax side of things. I could not find anything anywhere that told me one way or the other, even in their description. So I'm going to assume it's wax that might just lean a little bit more toward the oil side. I think how they balance the wax and the oil can really make a difference when they're making up the cores. It's a really very interesting process. If you want to see how a pencil is made, there is a YouTube site that features, just type in Faber-Castell polychromos, and eventually you should find a video that they did. Like, it's an official video that shows how their polychromos pencils are made over in Germany in one of their factories. It is the coolest thing. So anyway, that was just a little rabbit hole I thought my fellow pencil collectors would find very interesting. So I will do a speed color of these. And like I said, if you want a copy of this without the colors and or with them, don't hesitate to pop it in the comments and let me know. And if you enjoyed this, please consider giving it a like and a share. I would really appreciate it. I'm at like 402, which I know isn't a lot by some standards, but for me, that's I'm almost to a goal, which I've had for a very couple of years, which is to at least get to 500. That way I can do certain other things, that help my channel out. Like, I think I can monetize at 500, but it might be 1,000. Either way, there's other things that I can do. So if you can just do that, I would really appreciate it. So have a blessed one, friends, and wherever you are, I hope you're safe and happy and making art. Bye.